This happened during my first year of college in 2023. I was attending school in Arkansas, and during spring break my family decided to take a road trip through parts of Missouri and Kansas. It wasn't anything extravagant. We just wanted to get away for a few days and see places we'd never visited before. The trip included my stepmother, my aunt, my younger cousins, my older sister, and me. It was basically a car full of women traveling together. After several days on the road, we began making our way back home. Unfortunately, we had miscalculated the drive. By late evening, we were still several hours from our destination and nobody wanted to continue driving through the night. Around 9 p.m., we pulled off the highway looking for a place to stay. The first motel we found looked old but decent enough for one night. Nothing about it immediately stood out. At least not at first. We checked in and carried our bags inside. Before settling down, we decided to grab dinner from a nearby burger place. While standing in the lobby, my aunt called asking which room she should come to because she wanted to change clothes before we left. My cousin answered loudly without thinking. She practically announced the room number to the entire building. That's when I noticed a man standing near the entrance. He wasn't checking in. He wasn't talking to anyone. He was simply standing there. Watching. I remember immediately feeling uneasy. Maybe it was because he seemed completely motionless. Maybe it was because every time I glanced toward him, he was looking in our direction. Whatever the reason, something felt wrong. I pointed him out to my sister. She laughed and told me I was overthinking things. I wanted to believe she was right. As we walked out, we passed within a few feet of him. For a brief moment, we made eye contact. The look he gave me wasn't angry. It wasn't friendly either. It was impossible to explain. It was the kind of stare that makes your instincts start screaming. We left anyway. Dinner took about 2 hours. When we returned, most of us were exhausted from driving all day. As soon as we entered the motel, I saw the man again. This time he was sitting alone in a dark corner of the lobby. The television nearby wasn't even turned on. He was simply sitting there. Doing nothing. Watching people come and go. That alone made me uncomfortable. Then my aunt called again. She'd forgotten the room number. Unfortunately, my cousin repeated it out loud a second time. I glanced toward the man. He was now talking quietly on a cell phone. His back was turned toward us, but I couldn't shake the feeling that he was listening. We headed upstairs. My sister and I shared one room while the others stayed a few doors away. For the first 20 minutes, everything seemed normal. We were scrolling through our phones and getting ready for bed. Then someone knocked. The sound nearly made me jump. I had spent the entire evening telling everyone about the man downstairs. My imagination immediately went wild. Thankfully, it was only my stepmother. The second we opened the door, she hurried inside and shut it behind her. That alone told me something was wrong. She looked genuinely rattled. Not scared. Terrified. She told us to start packing immediately. No explanation. Just pack. We began stuffing our belongings back into our bags while demanding answers. Finally she explained. A few minutes earlier she had opened her room door to throw away some trash. The moment the door opened, she found herself face to face with a man standing against the wall beside her room. Not walking past. Not checking his phone. Just standing there. Waiting. She said he stared at her without saying a word. Then he casually walked away and entered the room located between our rooms. The entire situation sounded wrong. Every instinct in my body told me we needed to leave. Fast. Within minutes everyone had gathered their belongings. My stepmother went downstairs to request a refund. Shockingly, the clerk approved it without much argument. That only made me wonder if strange incidents happened there regularly. While we waited outside near the vehicle, I noticed movement near the lobby entrance. The same man emerged from the building. At first I thought he was leaving. Instead, he stopped and began talking to another man standing near the parking lot. That second man appeared to be examining vehicles. He was peering through windows and tugging on door handles as if checking whether any cars were unlocked. My stomach sank. The two men glanced repeatedly toward us. I remember feeling frozen. Like I couldn't process what I was seeing. Then the second man nodded toward our SUV. A subtle gesture. Almost like a signal. The first man immediately turned and looked our way. I climbed into the vehicle as quickly as possible. By then everyone else was noticing the same thing. The atmosphere inside the SUV became pure panic. My stepmother was calling my father while trying to decide where we should go. Nobody wanted to stay. But nobody knew where else to go at nearly midnight. Then a third man appeared. He walked out from the side of the building and joined the other two. The three of them stood together talking while looking directly at our vehicle. That was enough for me. I started begging my stepmother to leave. Everyone else joined in. The men began moving slowly across the parking lot. Not running. Not rushing. Just walking. But they were definitely heading toward us. Finally my stepmother put the SUV into drive. We pulled away from the motel and onto the highway. I looked back through the rear window. All three men had stopped. They were standing together watching us leave. Nobody spoke for several minutes. The silence inside the vehicle felt heavy. Eventually we found another motel several hours later. It wasn't exactly luxurious. There were stains on the carpet and bugs in the bathroom. But compared to the place we just left, it felt like a 5-star resort. To this day, I don't know what those men intended to do. Maybe they were harmless. Maybe we misread the entire situation. But the way that first man lingered around the motel all evening, combined with the other men watching vehicles and approaching ours, still bothers me years later. All I know is that every person in our family felt the same overwhelming urge to leave. And sometimes it's better to trust that feeling than stick around to find out whether you're right.